When I was an addict, I was stuck on that hamster wheel. And I always thought that if I just went faster on that wheel, made it go around more and more and more and more and more, I would feel okay about myself. And the honest answer is, I was wrong. All that did was make me tired, and I didn't get anywhere. I was totally stuck in the four walls of status quo. I was actually felt comfortable in the mediocre crowd, stuck on that wheel. I never got judged. Why? Because everyone else was stuck on that wheel with me. But deep inside, I was silently in agony. And I realized all I was doing was being busy dying. I think most Americans are stuck in that addiction of mediocrity, where they do the same thing today that they did yesterday, and the same thing they did last week and last year, and before long it turns out to be a lifetime of stuck being mediocre. I really believe that everyone is hardwired to be the best, to adapt. That's how the species are procreated. We are in a constant state of competition. We really are. And when we avoid that, when we say that, no, I can't be the best, then you're saying to yourself and succumbing to the addiction of mediocrity. It takes a great deal of mind interrupt to get out of that addiction, like it does every addiction. In my personal case, the multiple addictions I had, one of which was to be mediocre, I had to have this huge behavioral interrupt. And as a result of that, I hired some professional psychologists, one of the best, to help me get through that. And I learned immensely that the happiness in life happens when we struggle, because that's where the adaptation comes from. That's where we can become the best. You can't be the best without struggle. We are in a constant state of course correction. It's just like an airplane. My son is a pilot, and he says, Dad, that plane is off 99% of the time. It's just constantly correcting itself. And when we have this vision, I had this big vision of where I wanted to be in my life, but I didn't know how to get there, stuck in that addiction of mediocrity when I got out of that. That vision was my course correction. As long as I could be aware of that and move forward, I was going to end up with roadblocks. I was going to have failure in my life. I was going to have things that didn't work out the way I planned, and yet through all of that, I grew and I learned. Like anybody else, I wanted to be recognized. I wanted to make contribution. I wanted to grow. And yet, stuck in the addiction of mediocrity, I never got any of that. No one on the hamster wheel who is going nowhere is ever recognized for contribution or for their growth in life. They're never recognized either. It's only when we bust that pattern of mediocrity and we accept and honor the struggle. That's how we become the best. We struggle. Honor the struggle. You are wired to be the best. I know that to be true. Go after it today. Don't hesitate. Don't make your doing what you did yesterday and the next day, don't make that to where you're doing the same thing next week, next month, next year, a lifetime. Make it a habit to be the best.